Now, you've also done a lot of very interesting work with whales, and we have some video of you with some whales. Now, this video doesn't have a voice track, so we can talk over it.
Okay.
But let's go ahead and roll the whale tape, please. Okay. So now this is you and a whale. Now, can you make friends with a whale the way you can make friends with a dolphin? Are they empathetic like a dolphin?
Yeah, you know, it's surprising how little we know about whales. But you spend a lot of time with whales season after season, because we only get whales seasonally down in Turks and Caicos. So one of our first things to do was set up the national parks, reserves, and sanctuaries. And then within that, we realized there was a whale calving ground, so we protected the whales. Jojo brought me my first baby whale, actually. And his mother was close by, which was probably not a good idea because he sort of kidnapped the baby whale. But this baby whale, every season when I got in the water, he was so interesting. He produced the same behaviors every single time, and I could identify him easy because of their tail marks, which is really great. But every season, this whale would come back and to the same area, which was really nice. And when a whale's born, it's not that super huge, but every year it gets much, much larger. So a yearling.
How long does it take to reach full size?
Oh, you know, I don't know. All whales are different. You know, like Jojo, for instance, is sort of a dwarf dolphin. He's not really big. He should be much larger. But whales, it depends, you know, on how much they're eating and where they're traveling to on their size growth, you know.
But is there an age where they're now adults instead of children?
Well, after the first year, they're weaned off the mother, which is the best time to meet a male whale, actually, because by the time he's weaned off his mother, you know, he's been with his mother for one whole year, and she wants to mate now. And so in order to protect him, she'll say, okay, you're off on your own, push him away, and it'll be the first time he'll be on his own, and he'll be singing. The time you approach a whale, which you can't do in the United States, by the way, but since we're doing research and all that, we always found that whenever we came up to a male whale who's been weaned off his mother, the first thing that comes to him when he is singing, he is so attracted to, you know, and they really form a bond, you know, and they're around you and they're alone for the first time, you know, so that's a really great time to meet a whale.
Now, when you lead these whale encountering expeditions, is everybody in the water with you circling these whales, or?
No, actually not at all. You can't circle a whale, and there's always an escort that's very protective of the mother and the calf, and usually we go into areas where there are calving grounds and we do research on the whales.
But you get out of the boat, you're in the water, right?
Yeah, actually you don't even need a boat in a lot of instances. Sometimes the boat's a big distraction. It's metal and makes a lot of noise, and you don't want to have cameras and things like that. It's much better just to go in pretty much with nothing in a bathing suit and mask and snorkel.
And do whales know they're interacting with you? Do they treat you like somebody special?
They treat everybody special because they realize we're very small and very vulnerable.
Because that was the end of the whale video. But I find the work with whales really interesting. And you're also the founder of an organization called the Marine Wildlife Foundation to protect these creatures. What do you do with that organization?
Well, it's legal protection, medical protection for dolphins and whales, research and education. We really focus a lot on the education now, which is really important. But the Marine Wildlife Foundation has branched off into a lot of areas where, you know, children with really severe disabilities that could never meet a whale or much less even get on airplanes, because these are full-cared kids with really severe disabilities. So they need 100% attention. We'll take kids like that into the water with whales and dolphins.
And they do okay with whales and dolphins?
You know, they do. They really do. And dolphins are so careful with them. You know, they really understand that, you know, there's something wrong here or something not quite right. They're not like swimming or anything. And there's a group of people around supporting them in the water, and dolphins are very curious about that.
Now, I understand that you're also working on developing some technology to decipher the language of dolphins and whales. What's that about?
Well, you know, it's funny. There are so many really great people out there who have developed technology. Some that I see, I'm thinking, wow, this is perfect for trying to understand what whales are doing, the communication in between, you know, the whales that are out in the wild and what they're doing over great distances. And there's a lot of organizations and institutions that have recorded all this information. And if you take an artificial intelligence program and you use that for trying to decipher what whales are doing and saying and what their intent is, I think we'll probably get a really good idea.
I mean, you think they have a lot of leisure time, and it's not just a constant struggle of where is the food, where are the enemies, will you be my mate?
Yeah,
but more casual stuff?
In the mating grounds, I tell you, they have to compete. and that's wild when you're around a group of whales that are trying to mate with one or two females. It's a lot of work, and it's a lot of activity going on, and you can't be in the water when that's happening.
So the females are generally outnumbered?
Yeah, the males are pretty aggressive. They get down to the mating grounds much earlier, and they're a little bit more friffy then, you know. So it can be quite an amazing thing with them breaching all over the place, and you're talking about 60,000 pounds crashing down in the water, so you don't actually want to be right next to them.
Now, is there something we can learn from species such as dolphins? Is there something we can learn about ourselves by watching them?
Well, you know, I tell you, if I were an extraterrestrial and I came to this planet and I was looking for an intelligent species, it probably wouldn't be man. You know, we've really done a lot of damage to our planet. When you look at a species like dolphins and whales, you know, they don't have the appendages to manipulate so much. But I'd probably look at dolphins and whales, you know, high on the hierarchy of intelligent species. One, because they haven't really risked our life support system. And right now we're in a time and a planet where, you know, we have to make some really serious decisions not to destroy our own life support system. And we're the human species. We're supposed to be surviving with that. So there's probably different scales of measurement that you could talk about.
Well, they don't have the means to destroy it. There was a time when we didn't have the means to destroy it.
Well, it's a very good point, but still, you'd have to look at it in terms of, you know, global perspective. If someone was watching over our shoulder and we didn't know it, and what we do in terms of greed and just, you know, power and all that. And, you know, dolphins, yeah, they're mammals. They're like us a lot, you know, and you see them having their good days and bad days, and so they're very similar to us. But I'd say they have one up on us. You know, so you have to look at them in about, you know, 2,000–3,000 years and see where we are in comparison to where they are.
Now, I understand you're also able to commercialize the relationship with JoJo. You have Dean and JoJo, which has become a brand which is going on various products to promote the concept.
Yeah,
Tell me about that.
Well, the story serves such great purpose in so many different ways that, you know, I'm not going to live forever, and neither is JoJo. So making them into a digital icon for good cause is what we've always done anyhow in real life. But you look down, you know, 2–3 generations from now, how many good, trusting, authentic brands are actually out there that people trust? So now you have one that's based on trust and authenticity and integrity in real life. And now you're offering that as a product and a brand to people for good cause, which we continue to do now through the foundation work and through all the work that I do personally. And we're looking for like good software developers who have developed software for good cause, and we'll co-brand with them so that we can get the product on the market because it does serve good purpose.
So entertainment software, things like that, as well as maybe putting the brand on diving equipment?
Diving equipment really isn't our target, but it certainly could be as an ancillary. But mostly it's for, you know, things that are making a difference in the planet, like foundations and organizations. You know, we'll allow them to use it as fundraisers and all this, and we'll do co-branding and licensing so that Dean and JoJo serve their purpose and help other people and organizations serve their purpose too.
Do you still see JoJo on a regular basis? Do you still go down to Turks and Caicos?
I sure do. You know, I tell you, it's one of the greatest things in the world. It's like going back and seeing an old friend, you know, and he has a family now, so he's got, you know, they're very interesting because dolphins, normally it's a matriarchy, but JoJo's formed more of like a family, a human family, where you got like the father,
family.
The 3 calves, 3 of them now, and the mom.
That's a great story, but we are going to have to wrap because I've gotten the signal that we're out of time. So I'd like to thank you all for watching. I've been speaking with Dean Bernal, talking about his long-term relationship with JoJo the dolphin. I'm Marty Wasserman. Visit our website, www.futuretalk.net, for Future Talk. See you next time.